member of Congress is joining us. Congressman Grothman has been focusing on Iran's issue for years, and we are so delighted that he's here with us. Please welcome Congressman Grothman.
Well, I think the events of the last month are hopefully something everybody in this room has been hoping would happen for 40 years. Obviously, a lot of decisions have yet to be made, and we have to make sure that those decisions are right. I don't know whether the numbers are accurate, but we know that over 30,000 Iranians protested trying to get rid of the current government about, what was it, 6 months ago now? And they died, right? Which is horrible. We're now in a situation in which it is clear that the allies, and by the allies I mean Israel in particular, but to less extent the United States, have been hoping we have a rebellion and we have a new government in Iran. I think the allies should realize that as long as Iran has a government, and of course it's a very repressive government too, which is the biggest problem for people in this room, but that as long as they have a government that says we're going to build nuclear bombs and we are also going to destroy the United States and destroy Israel, that unless the people who run that government, I don't mean people with the same ideas, just different names, I mean people with those ideas are running the government in Iran, you will continue to have a repressive government that makes it very difficult to live there for its own people. And you're also going to have a government that sooner or later is going to be a problem for the United States and a problem for Israel. And I hope, and we can pray, that the advice that President Trump is getting and that Bibi Netanyahu is getting is that when this war wraps up, we're going to have people with a whole different view of world, what the role of government is in charge of Iran, than we've had for the last, 45 years? So that's something that as you go around through the halls of Congress and meet with your congressmen, that you want to emphasize. Because while I feel so good and so optimistic, and by the way, it's very apparent that both the United States and Israel are trying to kill the smallest amount of Iranians possible. You think that's true? I mean, when I hear that 1,500 people have died, that's of course horrible, but given the number of missiles that have been shot or the bombs that have dropped or whatever, 1,500 is not much. You would figure 1,500 people were dying every day. So it's obvious they're trying not to alienate the current Iranian population, but we also have to emphasize to our congressmen that we expect a new Western type of government. And of course that's what the Iranian people deserve, because it's what all people deserve, but it's particularly what the Iranians deserve, because it is such a great, intelligent, modern, pro-Westernized people who want that form of government and are just stuck because, quite frankly, they've got the guns, right? They're stuck with the Revolutionary Guards in charge. So we were talking this morning, one of the things we have to make sure there's always internet for people so that they know, and that should be a goal, know what's going on in Iran. And there have to be guarantees when a peace settlement is eventually reached that we will have a westernized and free country. It's got to be more than a democracy. You know, sometimes democracy is overblown around here. You can have a democracy, and if the wrong people are choosing who's get elected, it's still a mess. America is great not because it's democracy, it's great because of our Bill of Rights and the freedoms which we all have regardless of who gets elected. But I encourage you as you go about these halls and bring people in here and meet them in their offices, that you emphasize that when this thing wraps up, we want Iran to have a government. I don't know, what government can we say? Egypt? I don't know. Even better, a purely Western-style government with Western-style freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, that so much of the Western world has, and something that the Iranian people want and deserve. So is that what we can shoot for here? And we do not want... It's not enough just to, well, in any event, I'll leave it at that. That is what our goal has to be, a goal that is deserved, a goal insofar as you're communicating with people back in Iran, and I suppose many people here have relatives in Iran who they're in regular contact with. And hopefully this is something that we have. There's certainly many people in Iran familiar with the United States, right? And I remember when they had the revolution, what was it, 1977, 1978? I should know, I don't. At that time, I believe there were more Iranian students in American universities than any other country in the world. Am I right in that? Is my memory right? Right. All over our universities had it, which means, and those people are still around. Okay, they're no longer 21 years old, but they're 65 or 66 years old. And they have a dream when Iran will be run with similar principles as the United States was run in 1977 or 78. So thank you much, and I wish you luck. Obviously, a lot of work is yet to be done, because we don't wind up with a situation where we just have another 30,000 protesters die and nothing for it. So thank you very much.